Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, you know it does not work without you guys. Man, I'm just checking in on you guys because I don't know about you, man, but man, this shit hurt. I am, they always say that us Cowboy fans that we're delusional. What's up, digital? Cowboys digital. Uh, Wilson, how are you doing? So you're the one that's listening to my podcast. Shout out to you, man. We're gonna start trying to do those on a daily basis, I guess. Lola, what's up? Let's see. Need to pull my stuff up here closer. How you doing today, Lola? Galen Miller, what's up? Yeah, JPG. How you guys doing? Because I'm feeling like crap. I am MB six shooter YT. What's up? What's up? I'm feeling like crap. I'll be honest with you, man. I am right now very very disappointed. 6 games into the season, the Dallas Cowboys are a mess. Aloha, man. Aloha service 24/7. Lorenzo, what's up? How you doing? I am thoroughly disappointed. You know what? I'm going to say what my dad used to always say. You say, Dad, how are you doing? Broke, busted, and thoroughly disgusted. That's how I'm doing. But other than that, I'm great. So we have a report from one Jane Slater. Get, damn, B. That would be my luck. Troy Daniels, how you doing, man? What's up? Jane Slater's reporting that last night that at least one of the Dallas Cowboy players, Kathy, how you doing, Kathy? What's up? Martha, are you new here? I feel you, Galen. I am stressed out and upset about my Cowboys too. The first place Dallas Cowboys. Oh, I'm trying to laugh so I don't cry. Jane Slater's reporting that one of the players last night basically threw the coaching staff under the bus and said they're not prepared. I don't think they're good coaches, and basically they suck. I'm paraphrasing here. Paraphrasing. And this isn't actually new. If you listen to Mike McCarthy, Mike Fisher, he has reported about the last 3 or 4 weeks or so. Up late last night. Tua is starting for the Miami Dolphins, and hearing rumors that they might try and trade Fitzpatrick. Somebody sent me a message and said, "Yeah, are we trading for Fitzpatrick?" And I'm kind of like, "What? Why? Why?" The season. Oh, it's like wow. We have Cowboy fans that are always ready to just start over. They're just always ready. And you know what? The funny thing is, some of you Cowboys fans actually have what you've been asking for. I mean, seriously, some of you guys have been saying, Tyron Smith, man, get him out of here. He's a bum. He's too much money. Dak Prescott, he's just an average quarterback. Get rid of him, right? 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 Am I right? And we're going through, you're getting what you want. You're getting what you want. Those guys you said that are worthless,
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Are you not entertained? Zeke Elliott. Interesting thing. Somebody sent me an email earlier, and I hadn't thought about this. I know a lot of people think that COVID is not real and so on, but you talked to DT's nephew who is in the hospital, trying to recover from COVID. Talked to Peoples Aguilar, who, was in the hospital and had it, and talked to some of the people that I know that have died. It affects different people differently. And we do know that Zeke Elliott actually had COVID, remember, over the summer? And for some people, there are long-term effects, scarring of the lungs and, heart problems and things. And, they say some people lose like 10% of their heart capacity as well as the lungs. Some people have nerve damage and, gripping issues. Is it possible that Zeke Elliott, part of the fumbling issue is maybe he's got a little bit of nerve damage? I'm not trying to make excuses, but we have to look at all things because Zeke is fumbling now more than he ever did. He's fumbling more than he ever did. And, it may be he's trying to fix and right the ship and he's pressing too on top of it. But is it conceivable that there is some effects? Patrick, I couldn't turn it off because I'm doing live stream doing it. So, I had to roll with the punches and everything. Oh, trade for Matthew Stafford. Michael, see, here's the problem, man. The problem isn't, what does Matthew Stafford want? Matthew Stafford's been on garbage teams every year. And as we should have learned, because, everybody always says, well, with the weapons that Dak Prescott has, anybody can just step in, right? Isn't that what they say? That with the weapons that Dak Prescott has, anybody, I could go out there and throw passes and make completions. We've actually heard Shannon Sharp say that about, with the weapons that Dak Prescott has, right? We were fed a whole bunch of stuff about Andy Dalton. Oh, man, Andy Dalton's never had these kind of weapons and stuff. Andy Dalton. Some people actually sold us on the premise that the Cowboys would be a better team with Andy Dalton. You know what I'm saying? That we weren't going to do anything. Kathy Stearns, I think we expected too much. Randy Butler. How you doing? Thank you for that super chat. What's up, good Mark? Die-hard Skins fan. No hate. Love seeing you and Philly 500 go at it. Well, actually, we're going to have Burgundy and Gold all day is supposed to be coming up here for the garbage bowl between the Cowboys and the Washington football team. Right now, I don't know that we can beat you guys. I honestly don't. We've lost all of our offensive line. We've lost everybody, okay? We got Cam Irving. He's in the COVID protocol right now, even though he hasn't tested positive for it. And the funny thing, I haven't uploaded this video. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I've had got so much material that's going on here. The funniest thing that happened today, let me see if I can actually play this clip. Hold it. Let me go to my email. This is just kind of a relaxed. I hope you guys are relaxed. Just kind of an easy live stream here. I'm just kind of here at my house and just chilling. And I just I just needed to talk to somebody before I started crying. I just wanted to talk to somebody before I start. I just need you guys. Okay. Let's see if I can find. Did I send myself this? Okay. This is what, let's see. I don't know if do I have...
A weekend of clarity in the NFL. Okay. There's a lot of big games. The pretenders. We saw Buffalo, Tennessee play the other night, and it's like, maybe Buffalo's a little bit of a pretender. Tennessee is absolutely legitimate. And we're going to see Green Bay and Tampa Bay and all these games this weekend, and Cleveland and Baltimore. It's very funny. The Dallas Cowboys play Arizona. The schedule gets pretty weak for them right now. Very winnable games. And the feeling is Dak is gone and Andy Dalton's in. I want to remind you that what your replacements do will often define you when you don't go to work. So when Drew Brees got hurt last year, Teddy Bridgewater came in, went 5-0. What did it do? It got Teddy Bridgewater a franchise quarterback contract. And it also affirmed that Drew Brees and Teddy Bridgewater, it's not much of a gap. And it turned out that Teddy's now winning and Drew's not winning anymore in New Orleans with a better roster. When Cam Newton missed the Kansas City game this year, didn't play. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my God. That's a bad football team without Cam Newton. So Breeze not playing probably hurt his status. Cam not playing totally elevated his status. So what will it do for Dak Prescott? The feeling is Andy Dalton. We've seen this act before. It's not very good. Put this old dude to rest. This is, he'll play a couple games. And in fact, Patrick Peterson, Arizona, great player, saying, hey, man, we just want to force this cat to throw the ball this weekend.
That was their game plan.
If I asked you, I'm going to throw this out there. Dak and Dalton. Which one has had the season with the most touchdown passes? Well, that would be obvious. That would be Andy Dalton, 33. In dysfunctional Cincinnati with a defensive coach. All right, which guy has had the most back-to-back double-digit win seasons? Well, Dak's never had that. That would be Andy Dalton. 4 seasons in a row. And by the way, he was in a division with Pittsburgh, always competent, and Baltimore, usually competent. Did everybody know that Andy Dalton's 32? No major history of injuries. He chose Texas because he's from there. He's from Katy, Texas. Andy Dalton's not a stiff. You watched last week, right? You watched that last drive, and you're like,
yeah.
Your expectations of Andy Dalton are so low. And all of a sudden you watch that drive, and it's like, I'm not saying he's as mobile as Dak, but you watch the tape, look at the film, look at these throws.
Michael, I'm going to get to that and Amari Cooper as well.
Watch this throw.
Finish this clip.
Seems to me that's a big boy NFL throw.
That's a big boy NFL throw.
He's 32.
He's 32.
The Cowboys' schedule now is the weakest in the league for the next few weeks. Arizona, then it's Washington, beat up Philadelphia, face Pittsburgh, then they get a bye. But then it's a lot of Washington and Cincinnati, and 49ers can't get their act together, and home against Philadelphia and close the season out. Andy Dalton, when he was in Cincinnati, equally dysfunctional to Dallas, with a defensive coach, a conservative coach. We call Mike McCarthy a conservative coach. But when Andy was in that division 6-7 years ago and they had a bunch of weapons, he wasn't asked to carry the franchise. He was asked to be a distributor. He kept winning the division.
Asked to be a distributor.
So Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Brees not playing didn't do him any favors. Helped Teddy Bridgewater. Cam not playing did him huge favors. I just want to remind you, the first 4 years in the NFL, Dak and Andy Dalton, we threw the numbers out. It's the same dude. Now, I think I'd take Dak over Dalton. And I've, over the years, been much tougher on Dalton than Dak because they called him the Red Rifle, and I'm like, he doesn't deserve a nickname. Let's get off the Red Rifle nonsense. But the idea there's this massive gap, there really isn't. Dalton was drafted higher.
Okay.
Dalton had a very productive college career. Dalton has had more double-digit win seasons. Dalton's had the more touchdown passes in one season. And
all
he
right,
is
enough of that. Okay, so that was actually him on Friday. Eric's Speaker? Okay, thank you very much for that super chat. So that was him on Andy Dalton last week. The Cowboys won't miss a beat. They're a bad division. It's not a step back. There's no difference. They're the same guy. Today, it was funny. I'll put the video up later. Again, YouTube is, for some reason, saying that it's not advertiser friendly. And they've given me a yellow $, and I'm trying to make sure that it doesn't mess up my ratings and stuff like that. Because I didn't cuss. I didn't use a single cuss word in there. There's nothing negative, and I'm not butt naked on it. So I'm kind of like, your bots, your automatic review messed up, so I sent it in for a manual review on it. But it was funny because instead of saying, Andy Dalton looked kind of lost out there, maybe he's not quite as good as I thought, the Cowboys could use a better quarterback. And I'm not putting everything on Andy Dalton, but the offensive line was not good. Zeke Elliott fumbled a few times. The defense did what they did. Which are similar to things that's happened with Dak Prescott. When it came to Dak, it was always Dak Prescott is not that guy. So today, I was interested in watching and seeing what he had to say about this. He went through, his whole thing was, nobody would win with this team. They're missing 5 offensive linemen and stuff. Oh, no. Let me correct that. He said nobody would win with this team except maybe Carson Wentz. Russell Wilson or Pat Mahomes. Because, of course, with all the injuries they have in Philadelphia that, they're winning right now, right? So instead of saying, I was a little wrong on Andy Dalton, he went on and saying, oh, well, the Cowboys, they got Dak Prescott. That Dak Prescott is, they're chasing the guy that was in 2016. And it really wasn't that good a year because they were, a last place schedule. But the funny thing is they took a team, okay, that was 4-12. The only changes on offense was Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott. Zeke Elliott only had a couple hundred yards more than what we had with the other guys the year before. And they went from 4-12 to 13-3. Now, see, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, he didn't say, well, the Eagles were playing a fourth-place schedule because they were in the basement the year before, did they? They don't say that, do they? They don't. Xavier, you know what? Dude. Okay. And your point being, Mark, you suck. If I suck and you know that I suck, what does that say about you being in here watching me? How about that? Because I got to tell you.
You don't understand. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
Now, if your only contribution is Mark, you suck, at least have the decency to tell me why I suck. Okay? Because, come on. At least have the decency. Mark, you suck because you weren't right about the Dallas Cowboys. Mark, you suck because your food looks good, but I bet it really tastes nasty. Mark, you suck because your hair needs to be cut. At least don't be that guy that does not even have a thought of their own other than you suck. It's like the jackasses that come out and they say, Dak Prescott, he doesn't pass the eye test. Use your freaking brain. Use your damn brain. Or do you not have one? Are you that lame that your only contribution to society is to come in and say some negative shit? Is that what it is? Don't play. Don't play. Don't play with me. Seriously, don't play. So that was the whole take. Now, if anything, you should look at this team and say, well, maybe Dak was actually holding this shit together. Because officially, in my mind right now, Dak and Tony Romo. Dak has been Romanized. Dak Prescott has been Romanized. Literally, this is deja vu for the Dallas Cowboys. Bad defense, poor coaching, a quarterback who's doing everything they can to help the team win. They're okay. They're not great. And we blame the quarterback. And the thing that's crazy is what you hear, well, you know what, let's not pay Dak Prescott because we need the money to spend it on defense. Yeah, because that has worked really well for us. Because, somebody was talking about, well, get rid of Amari Cooper. Here's the problem. If you want to know where you're going, follow what you did in the past. Right now, when I say Romanized, we are in the same situation where we've paid a lot of guys for a couple of good seasons. Don't think I'm right? I want you to think about Miles Austin. Miles Austin, was a good player, but he kept getting injured. Go back to, inside, what is it, not All or Nothing, the training camp one. You saw Miles Austin was always dealing with hamstring issues. He has one really good year. The Cowboys decide to pay him big money. Jay Ratcliffe, he had a decent year. They paid him big money. Marion Barber had like 900 yards. They paid him a $54 million contract. These big contracts to guys that you look at and say, running back is one of those positions that after about 4 years, they start going downhill. Marion Barber wasn't even a full-time starter. But we paid a contract that was $54 million. We did that with Terrence Newman. And we got into cap hell. And we kept trying to buy our way out of problems. We'd go out and sign a TO or trade for Joey Galloway. Bad mistakes and money behind bad mistakes and more money. And we kept doing this till we were literally in cap hell, that every year, every offseason, we're $25 million in the hole, and we'd have to restructure contracts to go ahead and get down to even just to start the league year, and then not have money to go ahead and sign players. And when we did, we didn't exactly sign the right ones. So here's the problem. And don't get me wrong. Once you traded for Amari Cooper, you needed Amari Cooper. Now, Amari Cooper's deal is not as bad as some of the other ones, because basically Amari Cooper's deal you can get out of after next year. So you're only really committed to Amari Cooper this year and next year. His cap number for this year, let me make sure I've got, this year. For next year. His cap number for next year is $22 million. If you cut him, it's $28 million. I'm not sure that you're going to be able to trade Amari Cooper for that with that contract. Like I said, it's not so bad in 2022. You could actually, let me look and see, make sure, because I want to make sure I'm not talking out my ass. After next year, you could cut him with only $6 million dead money. Don't really want dead money, but you could actually walk away from him after 2021. Okay? That one's not so bad. Zeke Elliott's cap number for this next year is $13 million. His dead money, if you decided, we want to cut him, it's $24 million. You can't. You're married to Zeke Elliott, and you're probably not going to be able to trade Zeke Elliott's contract. I just don't see that. Then you got DeMarcus Lawrence, who they restructured. This is the one that kills me, because this was a bad move on top of a bad move. D-Law had 2 good seasons. D-Law basically threatened you. You know what New England would do if you had made a threat like that? New England would basically say, okay, I'm going to trade your ass, or I'm going to let you go. Because what you've gotten from DeMarcus Lawrence since we signed him, I'm sorry, 6.5 sacks? 6.5 sacks? And you made this worse because you restructured the deal, because here's the thing. This year it's an $11 million hit. Next year it's a $25 million hit. And if you decide, you know what, we're going to move on from it, it's a $44 million dead money hit. The year after that, it's 27 and then 29 million. Nobody's trading for D-Law. People say, "Oh, just trade D-Law." Man, just trade him. Get rid of him. You got him. You got to make the best of it. So you got that, and then let me go back to the numbers. I'm looking at chat. JPG 6.5 sacks. Right. Most important position is quarterback. And thank you, Kubo 88. Travis Williams, we need to beat the Redskins this week. Okay, so back to this. Then you got Jalen Smith. You didn't have to lock up Jalen Smith, but you locked up Jalen Smith. So his cap number for next year is $9.8 million. If you decided, we're going to move on with him, it's a $9.5 million hit. Zach Martin, you're okay with. But Tyron Smith, you restructured his deal. People say, move on from Tyron. Well, his cap number is 14 next year and $9 million in dead money. So you've spent a lot of money on the top end right now, and you still have a quarterback. And here's the thing I'm going to say, because people say, don't pay Dak Prescott. You know what? Yeah, just let him walk. You'll use the money elsewhere. Patrick Lane, but here's the thing. Here's the problem with that. Trading Michael Gallup to get a defensive back, that's a lateral move. You're going to hurt the offense because he's a young guy. If anything, you're going to be looking and saying, Amari Cooper this year, next year, Michael Gallup take his place. Because finding great receivers, and he's becoming a great receiver, are harder and harder to find. So we got to stop this whole idea of let's trade this guy. Well, listen, we're not getting, unless you're able to double what you're trading, you're not getting better. You're just making a lateral move. It's like if you're leaving a job, if you're a director, don't leave for another director job. You better be leaving for a vice president job, something that's going to make you better. And that's the problem. We end up getting guys like, let's say Des Bryant. Des Bryant, we paid him money and everything else. He ended up basically, we kept him too long where you couldn't trade him. DeMarcus Ware, you held on for too long. He ends up walking away. He still has value, but you can't trade him. Eastside Harold. Oh, Lordy. I should have known the cockroaches would come out. What's up? What's up, Eastside? You really enjoyed my stream last night? Yeah. You know what? Cowboys still better than the Texans. Okay? Still better than the Texans, but I appreciate you coming in and paying to troll me. So we hold on to guys and say we can't live without them, but we can't live with them. I'm just trying to think of one player that we've paid a whole lot of money to that's actually been beneficial, that's brought us something. I can't honestly say that we have. And then we end up letting guys go that we deem they're not good players. And you look at a guy like Anthony Hitchens. Now you look at Jeff Heath, who's, and Rod Martinelli, who are playing well for the Raiders. They're doing well. And other players that we've had that go other places and do well. Watch the video. Travis, I sent you email. Okay. I'll check it out when we're done. So it's a mess. It's a mess. And we have these contracts that you're not going to be able to move. So you're going to have to make the best of those. And now the problem is you've got the players. Players? You're talking about the players? The players that are revolting against the coaches. If what we heard from Jane Slater about the players, basically saying the coaching staff sucks, I mean, that's basically what they're saying. You're in trouble. You've already lost the locker room the first year. They're not buying in. And if they're not buying in, chances of them getting it aren't going to be good. So now, I think Jerry Jones has got some decisions to make. You're going to have to see, am I going to stay the course right here with Mike McCarthy? Or am I going to have to make some changes? And it seems like the first one that's got to be on the chopping block has got to be Mike Nolan. And, when it comes to preservation, if you're Mike McCarthy, you say, yeah, Mike Nolan's my boy, but, I need a scapegoat. And that's where you start. Well, here's the thing. Okay, so, but I'm not all doom and gloom here. When I start talking like this, it's not a belief. What you want to do is you want to put on the table all your cards, everything, okay? You want to figure out, listen, there's nothing that's too crazy. I want all the ideas so that way we can make an educated guess on what the best course of action is, okay? If you ignore possible solutions, you may never fix the problem. It may sound completely crazy, an idea, but you need to look at all options need to be on the table. And here's the thing for the Cowboys. You're not going to have that much money to be able to spend. We're in better shape than, say, the Eagles. The Eagles owe $263 million in salaries next year with guys that can't stay on the field. We only owe 172, I believe. We actually have a couple $1 million. We'll carry over some money from this year as well. So we're actually in a better shape than the Eagles are. The Eagles, I don't know what they're going to have to gut their roster, as well as Atlanta, as well as New Orleans and things. So we're actually in a little bit better shape. We're going to need to either sign Dak or sign somebody else. But Andy Dalton, thank you very much, Eric. Eric, I can't pronounce your last name. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I suck at reading. It's my damn dyslexia. But if I ever met you, I would remember your face. Thank you for that super chat. We do have 4 compensatory picks. And see, herein lies the problem. The draft is how you build a team. It's no other way to really do it. You can add a couple pieces in free agency and stuff, but you can't hold on to too many players like we are. We keep looking and saying, oh, we got to have Amari Cooper. We got to have Tyron Smith. We got to have DeMarcus Lawrence. And you keep doing these things, and you're paying top-tier money for 8 guys. It doesn't leave money to really get other positions. Our secondary is a mess. Our defensive line, I thought, would have been better, but it's a mess. The players look completely lost, and they're checking out with the defense and the coach. You need a new attitude. You need somebody to come in here kind of like we did, getting rid of Paul Alexander and bringing in, former Cowboy offensive lineman. That change ended up helping that offensive line. And that's the kind of move that you have to make. The guys are just not responding to this coaching staff, and this snowball is rolling downhill, and if you don't get ahead of this thing, it's going to be bad. It's going to be really, really bad. And so you have to look at, how can I build this team the best? I'm not going to say that you should intentionally tank. I'm not saying that. But you also look at this team with Andy Dalton, Zeke with the dropsies, the defense that's giving up 38 points to everybody, and I mean everybody. It may end up being a case of you're not trying to tank, but you're bad. Now, here's the thing that's crazy right now. The Eagles, the Washington franchise, and the Giants, all of those guys are top 9 picks right now. Right now. The draft happened right. If season ended right now, they would be drafting in the top 9. The Eagles having the worst pick. If you make the playoffs, the highest you could draft would be 15th, because you have 14 teams that make the playoffs. Okay, so those 14 teams. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Let me back that up. I got the bass backwards. Damn, did I get that bass backwards? 32 minus 14 is 18. The highest you could draft if you make the playoffs would be 18th. There's a big difference between drafting Kevin Kincaid, or is that Kincaid? He's like, I ain't Kincaid. Kincaid. The highest you'd be drafting would be 19th if you make the playoffs, because all those teams that did make the playoffs would be ahead of you. So as opposed to making the playoffs versus not making the playoffs, if you don't think there's a difference between drafting 19th and a top 10 pick, and for the Cowboys, here's the way you got to look at it, because right now the cupboard's bare. We need help all over the place. Our secondary is bad. Yeah, you got skilled players, but we need an offensive line. I'm sorry, we need to draft a left tackle. You probably need to draft a guard as well. I'm not sure about Connor Williams. Zach Martin is actually getting up there as well. You need a swing tackle. You need safety. You need cornerbacks. You might even need a linebacker. You need defensive line. So if we don't make the playoffs, and people are going to say, oh, my God, you're saying tanking. You're not a real fan. I'm a fan that wants to see a Super Bowl before I die. And I'm 55 years old. And I'm not right now, I'm not sure that that's going to happen. Mark, was I put in timeout? I didn't put you in timeout, JPG. Mods, slow your roll now. Slow your roll on putting people timeout and blocking people, okay? As bad as our team played, people have the right to go ahead and show their frustration. Adrian Hasserig. Boy, I miss having E2 over here. Thank you very much for that super chat. So, if we weren't to make the playoffs, hypothetically, let's say we end up having the 10th pick in the draft. Eric Freeman, thank you very much. Let's say we had a top 10 pick. Let's say we had 10, right? 10th pick in the draft. That's pretty good. That would mean our second pick in the second round would be 42nd. That don't sound too bad. And then that would be our third pick in the second round would be 72. And then we'd have another third-round pick in there. Our fourth round pick would be what? 72 and 32. That's 74. That would be 104. So you could be talking about having 3 to 4 picks in the first 100 picks. Now all of a sudden you've got some young guys that are dirt cheap. I'm just saying. You say we need a team? Okay, all right. So your first pick, we get the best left tackle out there. Get a left tackle. That second round pick is close enough to being a first round pick that maybe you go ahead and get yourself another cornerback or, safety. You can get a great safety in the second round. Warren Thornhill was there after Tristan Hill. Right? And, keep in mind, too, next year we have 4 compensatory picks, a third, a fourth, a fifth, and a sixth. That's how you get the cupboard together. Now, there's some people out there that say, well, let's tank for Trevor Lawrence, or let's move up in the draft and take Trevor Lawrence. Okay, it's fine. Hypothetically, let's say you do get Trevor Lawrence, and he's as good as Dak Prescott or better, slightly better. I don't know that he's going to be able to throw for, 700 yards a game or something? If you don't fix the defense, it doesn't matter who's out there. And taking a number 1 pick and putting on a quarterback when you have a guy right here that you didn't have to use any draft capital, all you got to do is pay the guy, would be stupid. If you were in a position to get Trevor Lawrence, then what you would do is, hey, we're open for business. Who wants him? And get yourself about 3 or 4 picks for that guy. And use that to stock the cupboard. Emmitt Smith should own this team. Oh, my God. For Jerry Jones, although, what is he going to say about Mike Nolan? He's, basically, I believe in Mike Nolan. Well, I mean, what is he going to say? No, I don't believe in him. I hired him, and he's a bum. You can't throw him under the bus. That might have been the vote of confidence. I heard somebody had sent me a rumor or asked if I had heard this rumor that Mike McCarthy is coaching for his job this weekend against the Washington franchise. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, then again, who knows? 2020 is a bad year. Wait, what was that? So I see lots of laughy faces. And if we tank, we ain't getting. And right, that's Sam. Thank you very much, Sam. Because this is what I was talking to my buddy Derek from Megabytes, and he was like, "Well, if we tank for Trevor Lawrence," I'm like, "Dude, I know we're bad, but you got the Jets that have no wins, okay? You got to get up to that spot. And keep in mind that Washington has 1 win and that the Giants, you beat the Giants. So that means you have to lose more than those guys and hope that they win. You're not getting there. You're just not getting there. So that whole everybody's now, let's take for Trevor. Let's take Trevor. Oh, it's like, oh, geez. It's like, it's too late for that one. So my next thing to him was, he was like, Dak Prescott. Yeah, we got to realize that we can't spend that kind of money on Dak. And it's like, hold up. We spent money on Zeke Elliott. We spent money on D-Law. We spent money on Jalen Smith. We spent money on Tyron Smith. We spent money on Lyle Collins. I said, let me ask you this. If Dak weren't hurt right now, what position do we have the best player at? What position are we, you look at and say, that is literally our best player? Caesar. Thank you. You sent me a message on Instagram. Okay. I'll try and check that out. I get a lot of messages on Facebook because I'm on so many different pages and things, and Instagram and emails. It's hard to keep up, and keeping up with the Cowboys, because you know how it is with the Cowboys right now. It's hell keeping up with the Cowboys. Look at our position. Okay, do we look and say that D-Law is one of the best defensive ends in football? Do we look at that and say that? I don't. Not anymore. No. Do I look at our linebackers and say, yeah, as much as everybody was saying that Van Der Esch is like Brian Urlacher, going into the game. Oh man, Van Der Esch, he's like Brian Urlacher, man. We're in great shape. I'm like, Brian Urlacher, really? I'm like, I'm not so sure about that one. Cornerbacks and safety. Do you look at that and say, yeah, one of those guys? Or Stello, man, how you been, man? It's been a while. Stello 300. I don't look at our cornerbacks and say, yeah, we're trunk tight with cornerbacks. That they're great. I just don't see that. So, no. Right now, offensive line. Do we look and say, yeah, man, we got great offensive line, some of the best ones in football? Not right now, because we don't have any of our starters even being able to stay on the field. You used to could say that about Tyron Smith, but Tyron Smith has not stayed healthy for years now. Hold on, guys. Let me grab. I got to grab some more. Nope. Hold on. I'll be right back. What did you do with the damn thing? Sorry about that. Stello. Okay. Sorry, I had to get some more notepads. Stello 300. So the one place you look at right now and say, although some people won't say it, quarterback is about the position that we actually have our best player at. I assume that you guys would look at that after last night and say, yeah, Dak maybe is better than we thought he was. That maybe Dak is not the problem. So that's the one position that you have to hold on to. And here's the thing. You got a quarterback. He's going to be healthy. He's not going to cost you any draft capital. So if you say, let's go draft Trevor Lawrence, if you were in a position, then you're taking that draft pick that you could be using on getting a left tackle or, another position, and you're getting rid of it. Stop it, Mark. Stop what? Dre, what do you mean? I'm just saying, Dre, it may not be an intentional tanking, but if our team played like they did last night, who do you see us beating? Is he? But okay. But you know what, Dre? Trevor Lawrence, maybe. He may be. But I've heard that about a lot of guys. I heard that Andrew Luck was a generational player. Right? Didn't they say about Andrew Luck? That's why the Colts said, you know what, we're going to let Peyton Manning go. Well, we know Peyton Manning's won a Super Bowl. Peyton Manning's been one of the great. But this guy might be better. And do you look at the Colts and say that was a wise move? That right now he is, of course, out and he was injured. You don't know what you don't know. You know that Dak Prescott can sling the football. You know that the team can follow behind Dak Prescott. You don't know that for sure about Trevor Lawrence. You do not. And anybody that says that they know for sure that he's going to be there, and if you have to turn around and 3 or 4, he can't make up for 3 or 4 draft picks. I don't care how good he is. I don't care how good he is. You can't put anybody on that team that we have right now and think that you're going to win. And right now, you look at the Cowboys. I'm sorry. If they don't get all of a sudden a whole lot better on defense, you ain't beating nobody. And that includes the Washington team. You saw the Cleveland doo-doo Browns literally put up 49 points. Cleveland rocked us. Come on. You guys, the thing is, some of you guys just think that running an NFL team is like Madden football, or fantasy football. You can just trade this guy. Oh, well, you know what? We're going to take Dez Bryant. Oh, people still think, get Dez Bryant. We need Dez. But you think you can just turn around and just, trade for somebody? Oh, we'll just get rid of a bad contract and we'll go ahead and get a great player in return. It does not work that way. Troy Daniels, thank you very much, man. even if we tank the rest of the way, the best we right. And that's the thing I'm trying to tell people. But I will say this much, Troy. If we had the 6th pick in the draft, and then the 38th pick in the draft, and then the 70th pick in the draft, we could get a lot better. We could get a lot better if you had picks like that, because now you're talking about being in the top 10 and getting a guy who could be an impact player. CeeDee Lamb is a great player. If you end up with the first pick in the draft about the Jets to trade the Jets, the Jets, the Jets have to take him. The Jets don't have a quarterback. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm just not sold on it. They're going to take him. The pain, Mr. Cowboy for life. I feel you, man. That's why I'm on here right now. This is cathartic. I think that's the right word for me to be on here now. But I was talking about Derek, and I guess it's kind of like Beetlejuice, and he appears. But I was talking to Derek earlier, and he was like, if we ended up, I was like, we can't, we're too far away. We could lose the rest of the way, and we might lose the rest of the way. We just might lose the rest of the way. And we still wouldn't get Trevor Lawrence. I don't see the Jets winning anything. Adam Gase has screwed that team over. That was another one of those dumbass coach hires. Oh, well, let's take the guy from Miami. He didn't do shit there. Let's make him our head coach and our GM. And I'm sure he'll do better. Jeez, get the frick out of here, man. And I thought Mike McCarthy, I actually thought Mike McCarthy was a decent coach. But you got to look at this and say, the team does not look prepared. Thank you, Mark. Cowboys have too many damn holes. Yeah, I mean, we look like a block of Swiss cheese. Jets not winning, true. You're right. That's what I'm saying. The only way you would be in a position to get Trevor Lawrence is you tank the season, get into the top 10, and then you trade a king's ransom with the Jets to get that. And the problem is we learned from trying to get Morris Claiborne. We figured, we're just Morris Claiborne away from this defense being good. We'll get the best defender in the draft. And we take a first and a second. We spend that on him to move up. And he ends up being basically a bust for us. So now the problem is you had a first-round pick that you think should be a guy that should be an impact player. And you have a second-round pick which should be a guy that's your starter. You got neither for those two. That sets you back. So for me, if we were in the top 10, I might look at this and say, you know what, unless we know that there's a generational player, let me move back and get as many picks as I can, because we need ballers. We need some dogs, and we need some guys to fill out this roster, because we're putting too much money on these other guys. Yeah, we have the same players that we had for the most part. There's a few adjustments in there. Okay, we don't have Robert Quinn, we don't have Byron Jones, but yeah, for the most part, you're right. Peoples Aguilar, another guy I was talking about. Peoples, how you doing? And actually, you are the guy I can talk to about this, because Peoples had COVID and was in the hospital with this, and thank God he got better. But one of the things I was sitting here questioning Peoples was after effects of having COVID. Zeke Elliott, we know over the summer, tested positive and said he had flu-like symptoms and things. The question is it conceivable that he's still having some effects of COVID that's, nerve damage, where he maybe doesn't have the same grip, the strength, or the lung capacity that he had, and that's also leading to problems for him on the field? Nikki Rentface, F the Cowboys. Y'all wasn't saying this in the offseason. Now you need new players. Get up out of here. Okay. No, well, things look different in the offseason. Things look different for a lot of teams in the offseason. I bet the Minnesota Vikings, when they ended up extending Kirk Cousins 2 more years with a $66 million guarantee, thought that Kirk Cousins would be playing better than he did right now. Things change, so when things change, you have to react to those changes to make them better. what was says about basically let me pull it up exactly because I don't want to misquote it. Let me see, where is it? Jane Slater. Cowboys players initially brought into keeping things eternal. This is what Jane Slater said. Now, as they sit at 2-4, the discontent is leaking out. On the coaching staff, totally unprepared. They don't teach. They don't have any sense of adjusting on the fly. They just aren't good at their jobs. So what Jane Slater is kind of reiterating what we heard Jalen Smith saying a few weeks ago with Mike Fisher, that, the defense is too complex. Jalen Smith said we need to simplify it. And again, so this was yesterday. Again, let me read it one more time. Cowboys players initially brought into keeping things internal, as in, we don't want it to get out what we think and what we feel. Okay, we're going to keep this inside the house. We don't want it to be known that we're not digging what's going on. But now, as they sit 2-4, the discontent, they're upset. They're pissed off in the locker room, is leaking out. On the coaching staff, totally unprepared. The coaching staff is totally unprepared, is what they're saying. They don't teach, and they don't have any sense of adjusting on the fly. And another said they're just not good at their jobs. They're just not meshing. And you had Jerry Jones, of course, saying, Jerry Jones, I'm okay with Mike Nolan. I'm okay because we hired him. Doesn't matter who the Cowboys will pick. They'll still disappoint you. How about them Cowboys? Ha, 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 ha. That sounds like something Woods would say. I actually think Jalen Smith is saying some of that. He's already been out there saying that it's too complex. I think he's definitely. No, but Russell, I agree. I agree on that. But it's collectively. Now, on the coach's defense, you got players hurt all over the place. You lost Tyron Smith. We saw when we lost Tyron Smith before, and we had Chaz Green come in against Atlanta years ago. We got killed. Peoples Aguilar. This is key. COVID-19 will kill you. Lasted a total of 3 weeks in the hospital, and I still have trouble breathing. See, damn, and that was several months ago too, wasn't it, Peoples? So this is somebody. Okay, so don't take my word for it. Take somebody who's been in the hospital, and shout out to Peoples. If you sit at my, when I'm inside at my desk, you'll see to the left of me you'll see the Cowboys carved face up there. That was sent to me by Peoples Aguilar. Shout out to you, my man. But he was in the hospital for 3 weeks with COVID, and that was several months ago. And he's still having problems breathing. So it's conceivable that some of the problems with Zeke Elliott are because he had that COVID. Oh, Sarah, we got another lady. Oh, what's up? Wait. I see another lady in the house. Oh, what a night. Okay. Ron Leary has retired, supposedly. Now, he came in, talked to the Cowboys, and he went up to Seattle and talked to them. And then, at least that's what E2 Blue was saying yesterday, that he retired. I hadn't heard that, but it's possible. It's kind of like, you know what? I don't need this shit. I love the passion. I'm an old man in the 50s. Love the Cowboys and love the way you cover the boys. Thank you, Michael. Well, I'm 55. I just turned 55 last weekend. And I feel like I turned 65 watching that game last night because, I'm sitting here looking at the gray hairs literally popping out of my head last night. I'm just like, my beard is turning white. I am literally aging in front of your eyes watching the Dallas Cowboys. I sat down at my set today because I'm trying to do some new things. I was doing a podcast. So, you can sit at the desk and just talk. Although, because I'm technology challenged, I haven't figured out how to just do a voice recording. So I did it as a video, uploaded to YouTube, kept it private, then put it in the converter. So I'm just sitting here and I'm doing the video and I'm looking in the video at the camera and stuff. And I'm just looking at the bags under my eyes. And it's like, I don't remember looking that old yesterday. I think the Cowboys literally aged me during that one game. I mean, I've seen some bad football from the Cowboys over the years, but damn, that shit hurt. Wow, we got 700 people up in here watching me whine. Shout out to you. I see you change your thumbnail. Smart move. Yeah, Eastside. How about your sorry ass team, man? Can we? How about let's all feel better. Let's have a joke. The Texans. The Texans. How about the Texans? So yeah, Eastside. Eastside. You're in the same boat as we are. You guys, at least. Oh, okay. I tell you what. Here's this guy say, let's trade Amari Cooper. How'd that trade for getting rid of Hopkins do for the Texans? In halftime, I'm having finished my bottle too early too. Oh, Dan, man, dog. You know what? I was ready to cuss out Joe Boo last, but you know what? I can't blame Joe Boo. Joe Boo is worried about saving his own neck right now because Philly 500 wants to take his head off. But I did take Joe Boo's flask. I filled it up with Joe Boo's rum. I'm like, Joe Boo, give me that shit, man. Give me that. You don't deserve this. You ain't doing thing. He turned to me and said, yo, dog, you can't blame me for this kind of shit. You got to give me something to work with here, dog. You got to give me something to work with. And right now, what you got, you ain't got shit. We hear much love, Cowboys fan. Well, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. I just hate seeing our team quit. And you know what? The defense, here's the thing that hurts more than anything else. It felt like the defense at first, I was like, we got 3 and out. They were keeping Hopkins from getting any catches and stuff. And I was like, man, all of a sudden the defense got a little fire. I said, maybe it is Van Der Esch being out there. Maybe he's uplifting. Maybe the team is coming together and saying, hey, Dak, we're going to win this one for the Gipper for you. Yeah, the old speech in there. And then we got the fumbles. Eastside, yes, he did have a homecoming. Eastside Herald. So Harold, do you actually watch any Texans YouTubers? Do you give them any money? I'm just curious. I appreciate because this is broke ass media. I appreciate all the money that we can get because although I don't know why, I don't. At this point, it's like, okay, do I need to do any more upgrades to the studio? Why? Why? The Cowboys suck. They don't deserve all the work we're putting into this. I mean, to come out here and have to literally... I was talking to Skywalker Steele. I sent him a message and said, Skywalker, let me know when you have some time so we can bury this dead body. Because literally, Cowboys look lifeless, man. They look like... they literally look like...
I've lost my mojo.
They've lost their mojo, man. And as this, I still say this describes the team completely, what they did.
Well, what happened was that second game, we got our ass kicked. Or the second half, we just got our ass totally kicked. We couldn't do diddly poo offensively. We couldn't make a first down. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't complete a pass. We sucked. The second half, we sucked. We couldn't stop the run. Every time they got the ball, they went down and got points. We got our ass totally kicked in the second half. That's what it boiled down to. It was a horse performance in the second half. Horse. I'm totally embarrassed and totally ashamed. Coaching did a horrible job. The players did a horrible job. We got our ass kicked in that second half. It sucked. It stunk.
Okay. Can you disagree with that? I know that clip's probably about 25 years ago, but damn if that didn't sound, I mean, seriously, it stunk. We stank. We couldn't get a first down, couldn't complete a pass, couldn't stop them. Jim Mora, still fitting. What's up, CCO? How you doing? Sal. So we got that victory at least. So at least we're 4-2, right? McCarthy just sits there and looks. I'm against signing Zeke 2 years ago. I'm feeling I'm right. Christopher. Yeah. Jeff people. Oh, see, and that's the thing that's funny because see, we have the Cowboys have like this cancel culture where we always say, get rid of this guy or get rid of that guy. He's a bum. Get him out of here. It's like, okay, well, you got what you wanted. You didn't want to sign Byron Jones. He's gone. You didn't want to sign Robert Quinn. He's gone. You didn't want to sign Jeff Heath. He's gone. You didn't want to sign Malik Collins. He's gone, right? You didn't want to keep Rod Marinelli. He's gone. You didn't want to keep Chris Richard. He's gone. Okay. So all of your solutions for all you guys out there that say, get rid of this guy, get rid of that guy. Well, we got rid of all those guys. And we are a lot worse. If we had the defense that we had last year, as bad as it was, we'd be winning a few games. Fire Mike Nolan, keep Mike McCarthy. Mike. CCO, it is a sad season. Big Wizzy, what's up? Big Wizzy. I need some jerk season. I need some hot as hell jerk seasoning, man. And I actually need to go ahead and grill some chicken. But see, I'm a steak guy, right? I like steak. I love some steak. In fact, actually, I love that shrimp poor boy we had last night. Ooh, shit! I actually had shrimp poor boy on Sunday and last night. And if I had some more shrimp, I'd make another one tonight. But I ain't got no French rolls. One game, one play at a time, and keep putting in the work. Manchester 54. The Cowboys have broken me, man. If you've been watching me for any length of time, I am Mr. Optimist. I'm Optimus Prime. Okay, you see what I did there? Optimus Prime. But no, I am always looking at things. Joseph Keith Jr. Joseph Keith Jr. Thank you very much. That's super chat. I need your help, man. Born and raised in Philly, but my wife and kids are Eagle fans. I got to deal. I can't help you, bro. Shit. Wait a minute. You're born and raised in Philly. You're living. Hold it. You're telling me, Joseph, you're living in Philly, and your wife and kids are Eagle fans. I got a room if you want to come. You can come stay at my house. That's about the only help I can give you, my dog. All I got to say is, man, you got to man up, man. You got to take it like a man. You got to take it like a man, okay? I'm sure they're talking all kinds. Although, they ain't exactly got a whole lot of talking that they can do either because, they trash too. Dave MX6, shout out to you. You are 100% right because right now they talking about.
We talking about practice, not a game, not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that?
Well, Mike McCarthy said that he thought that they were really prepared this week. Did you guys catch that? Mike McCarthy said he thought that they had a great week of practice and they were prepared. Man. Derek, you like that though, don't you, Derek? See, shout out. Let me say shout out to Derek. Derek Burnett. He's helped point me in the right direction. He's taking care of my website. I need to actually, Derek, I need to get my podcast added to my website and figure out how to drive more traffic to the podcast. Okay, I mean to the website. Okay, I don't know that one, but Derek was the one that said I needed to get this gaming computer. See, oh man, this Alienware. I don't know. Let me tell you. I fear this computer system in the way I fear Joe Boo too. A lot of times shit happens with Joe Boo and I kind of look at him side eye. When Philly 500 says I want to take his head off, it's like, you go right ahead. I ain't playing with that. I always say I ain't scared of you mother humpers, but I'm scared of him. But this alien computer, I have like 7 screens Okay, I've got 2 screens right here that are hooked up to the Alienware. If I go inside, there's 4 screens that are in the front. Then there's 2 others. I think it's 7 screens. It might be 8. It's 4, 6. It's 7 screens. And when you turn them all on, you see this alien. And the computer's got this little alien head that's on the front of it, and it kind of glows like a heartbeat. It's like it's orange and then green and then blue. And it's like, yeah, this thing it's crazy. It's powerful. I'm sitting here looking, I got all these screens. I'm only using up 19% CPU. I'm wondering what the rest of that CPU is doing. I'm serious. Lola. What's up, Lola? So, no, I'm not. No, Mr. Speed, I'm not hating. I'm not hating at all. But see, that might be some of that artificial intelligence, and one of these days I come down and it's like it's transformed into something and it's just like taking over the house and all that and locked me up. I'm just saying. But it's amazing because, see, I can do things with this that I couldn't before. The fact that I'm sitting out here, I'm looking at your comments on here because, see, damn, at least Zeke Elliott on his side, he's worried about last night's performance. And I see Jonathan, I see Publis, I see TGK TV. What's up? Long time no see, bro. And I'm able to run this stuff out here. So Derek was the one that said, hey, here's what you need for your setup. So if you have some computer issues, if you want to be able to figure out what's what and who's who and how to do these things. In fact, I'm getting him to help me. Check this out. We're trying to grow here at Broke Ass Media. I'm broke ass, okay? But it doesn't mean because I'm broke ass that I'm not trying to do more things. It's just a matter of figuring it out. So I'm working on, some of you guys have TVs that have Roku. It's a Roku setup and stuff. It comes with the TVs. I'm working on actually getting a channel on Roku TV. Isn't that shit crazy? Could you imagine if we would actually have a TV channel? So Derek can help hook a brother up or sister or anybody that's got computer issues. He's actually located in Florida. And so Megabytes Computer, okay? Megabytes. And let me say, I'm not sponsored by Megabytes. He's just a friend, okay? And they say he's just a friend. And they say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need. Your computer's right. Your computer's right. Oh, Derek, you got what I need. Okay, all right. So, anyway, Sarah Nicole. Is that another new lady up in here? Boom. Oh, what a night. Okay, I need a drink, Mark, but I never got my shot glass. Oh, Adrian, go to. Wait, let me see here. Wait, see. Let me show you because. Bam. Adrian. Go to that email right now and email me and say, Mark, I never got my glass, okay? And I am a channel member, okay? All right? I am one of your channel members, and and send your address. I got to get your address, too. Because you don't want to piss Michael Anthony off, because Michael's like, they sent me an email saying they're a channel member, but they didn't send the email. Peoples Aguilar, it's BAM for short. Okay, and it's not funny. People, it's not funny. We broke ass media. Okay, bam. We broke ass media, and we're trying to. This is what hurts more than anything else. Seeing the Dallas Cowboys play as pathetic as they played this year. This is what hurts more than anything else. Is after having this pandemic. After working from home, after not having any sports in the spring and through the summer, right? Because you understand, I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your situation is. I'm married to a beautiful, strong black woman. I love my beautiful, strong black woman. She's been working from home since March. I do a lot of my working from home too. Yeah. So to say that I wasn't looking forward to football and seeing my Dallas Cowboys, the amount of time and help that I got from Derek, because Lord knows I talked to Derek, I talked his ear off trying to figure out how to do all this shit because I'm computer illiterate, okay? I'm a dummy when it comes to this. To spend the time, the money, the effort, and you guys coming through and helping broke ass media. Because the reason why I was able to build all this is because of you guys buying, the racks up in here and doing super chats and liking, commenting, subscribing, becoming channel members. We put, and I mean, bro, I put a lot of freaking money into doing this so that way we could enjoy the Dallas Cowboys. And we get what we're getting right now, which is putrid. It's putrid. It's a disgrace. It sucks. And I try to look at the bright side and the hope. I don't know that I've ever been this hopeless before. I honestly looked and said, "Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it." Like I said, I put a lot of time in it. There's other things I want to do. And right now this is just like a fold-up table. I'm actually I want to get some wood and I want to make a nice set table out here. So it looks like it's professional. So it looks like ESPN and things, and maybe instead of it being so low, that actually it sits up higher and that we have director's chairs to sit on instead of, lawn furniture, outdoor furniture stuff to make it really look good. And, I hope that we can get through the COVID. And what we actually do is we have more of you guys here, that we have a studio audience in game day while we're watching our Dallas Cowboys have a great season, kicking teams' asses, going to the playoffs and making it to the Super Bowl and having one hell of a Super Bowl party. That's what I envisioned. That's why I put all of the work in here. I thought that this was going to be a really good season. And I wanted to make sure that even though we had COVID, that I figure out a way that we can share it all together and bring us all together, be able to, put like Philly 500 on the screen and watch him cry or doing Zoom calls. I put in all of this work, this effort, this money to keep me occupied because we working from home. And just trolling. Right now, well, the bright side is that maybe we'll get high draft picks. Maybe the bright side is people start learning the value of Dak Prescott. Steelers, baby. JR, question mark. Hey, Mark, what I miss, love from North Cali. Jerome Johnson. Let me read exactly what was said so that way I don't mess it up in translation. The lovely and talented Jane Slater reported today, about 4 hours ago, Cowboys players initially brought into the idea of keeping things internal, keeping problems internal. Now as they sit 2-4, the discontent is leaking out. On the coaching staff, quote unquote, totally unprepared, they don't teach. They don't have any sense of adjusting on the fly. Another, this means a second. When you say another, that means another person. Helicopter flying over. Maybe Jerry Jones sending somebody to silence me. If they drop the bomb on me, they dropped a bomb on me. It was Jerry Jones. Another, they don't have any sense of adjusting on the fly. I'm sorry, another. They just aren't good at their jobs. That was reported by the lovely and talented Jane Slater. Some scary ass leaked, I don't want to attach his name, coward, I bet it's Woods. Well, here's the thing. You got to nip it. Okay, if the problem is that becomes a cancer. It's kind of like, the mob mentality. One guy goes off and either you become a follower and everybody starts, okay, let me pick up a pitchfork here, some tar and feathers, and they all start going in. You're going to have to do something to grab a hold of this right now. And right now you don't see Jerry Jones trying to grab a hold of this. Dougie Fresh. Well, Dougie Fresh, you know what? Take your happy ass the fuck out, then. How about this? Bye-bye. Okay? I should bring some energy like Philly 500. Well, carry your ass on over to Philly 500. Boy, bye. Because you know what?
You don't understand. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
The couch potato. Yo, you know what? You might have something there. I think they're both defensive players. That's a good point, that maybe it's not defensive players and that maybe the offensive players are feeling that. Although I kind of look at it and say that, at least offense has some life, that the first ones to start complaining would probably be the defensive ones. I just think that, but I could be wrong. Losing the locker room with these leaks. Because, and that's the other problem with this, too, is maybe this was something that wasn't shared with the other players, and now all of a sudden everybody's looking around and saying, the fuck? Who did that? Yo, bro, why are you talking to Jane Slater about this stuff? We're keeping this stuff to ourselves. And now you start having divisions because it has been leaked out there. What is the backstory of Joe Bear? Okay, so Joe Bear was given to me, oh my God, I can't think of their names right now, when I was at the Super Bowl. The last big public event I was at. Wow. Dougie Fresh, go find Slick Rick. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay. When I was at Super Bowl in Miami, which I can't believe that was less than a year ago. It seems like the whole world has changed since then. I met a couple. I can't, their name slips me. I've got their phone number and everything else. In fact, they sent me a jacket as well, and I'm going to need it out here when it gets cold. They ended up meeting me at NFL Experience, where I was working, volunteering for United Way and stuff, at the booth that they had set up. And they bought me Joe Bear, and they said, hey, he wants you to have this. So Joe Bear was a gift from some fans. And a lot of the stuff that I have around in there, if you look at the football gods, that's from Joseph Heatherly. He gave me those, as well as some other things. The autograph banner with Tom Landry, that's Zeppelin fan, gave me that and stuff. And this up here, I don't know if you can see it up here with the webcam, that was also given to me by fan made that. So it's just the way I try and thank people is as I try and display a lot of the stuff that they have. Zeke is above average. Zeke got to be traded seriously. He's not the same back he was with Dak. Then you could use explosives gone. I'm not sure you're going to be able to trade that contract right now. I really don't think you are going to be able to get what you. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's not an easy thing to do. McCarthy is a loser. Wow. We've got some people that are pissed. Aaron Donald was a non-factor. Derek is, see, look at the knowledge that Derek is putting out here. Not only about computers, but about contract. That's what him and I were talking about earlier, because I went through it. And if I need to go through it again, let me say again, because we restructured Tyron Smith as well as DeMarcus Lawrence, the contracts are really untradeable. Amari Cooper next year, his cap number is $22 million. Okay, His dead money, if you cut him, is 28. Nobody's trading for that. Zeke Elliott is 13.7 next year. His dead money is 24. DeMarcus Lawrence, his contract is 25 cap million hit next year. Dead money 44. Jalen Smith 9.8. Dead money 9.4. Zach Martin 17 million cap number, 16 dead. Tyron Smith 14 million cap number, 8.5 million dead money. That's possible you could eat that one. Lyle Collins 12 million cap number, 12 million salary. Dead money. So you're looking at those numbers and you say, yeah. And every time I've said this, people get mad at me. But I have said, and this is a player I like a lot. Let me look up his numbers before I say anything. When we start talking about, because people will say, don't pay Dak Prescott because we need to spend the money on defense. We've been spending money on defense, but it hasn't done much for us. So to give you an example, I said beginning of last year, one of the tough decisions you have to make is some of the players that we have, do you hold on to them or do you let them go because of their cost? And I said one of the decisions the Cowboys had to make, this is before, not this season, this is before last year. I said Tyrone Crawford. Tyrone Crawford is getting up there, and I don't blame his contract at all because the Cowboys restructured it, and it was one of those ones that you look at and you say, maybe you're not getting the value for it. So this year, who's getting $9.8 million, he's got 5 tackles. No sacks, no forced fumbles, no interceptions, no passes defended. 5 tackles. And so you look at last year and this year, it's $20 million. Had the Cowboys decided, this year we're going to let you go, they could have saved $8.5 million on the cap. And this is where you look at it and say, oh, well, let's not pay Dak Prescott because we got to spend money. We're spending money, but we're not getting value for what we're spending. We kept hearing, oh, we need Tyrone Crawford back because, he can play, defensive end. He can play defensive tackle. He's a team leader. I don't see any leadership out on the defense. I don't see any leadership on the I'm sitting there looking between Tyrone Crawford and DeMarcus Lawrence. I see $30 million on the field. Do you see $30 million worth of value on that? We could actually put Jalen Smith out there too. Between Jalen Smith, Crawford, and D-Law, that's $40 million. Do you see $40 million? Oh, Chuck, don't even start me about Taco. Do you see $40 million worth of production from those 3 guys? And that's where you look at it because people are saying, don't pay Dak Prescott because we need to spend more money on the defense. And we'll be better off if we spend that money. We'll be better off if we spend Dak's money on defense. And we just won't have a quarterback. Alan Williams, man, you feel my pain? Alan, I like I said, I wasn't planning on doing an evening video, but it's just sitting here after listening to Colin Cowherd basically take, Andy Dalton's performance and not dealing with that at all and basically saying that the Cowboys' problems are Dak Prescott, and then hearing that the Cowboys now have players that are speaking to the media saying that the problems are the coaching, and after seeing teams that used to be the doormats. Somebody's talking about crickets. I was just like, I got to talk to my people. I got to talk to my people. Omar, just accept that you're mediocre. Oh, I agree. Mark, why is it when Jerry pays his players, public? I don't know, man. It's like it's always happens. Oh, Cowherd, I agree with you on that one. He's a jackass, but I ain't mad at him. He's just figured out how to he's figured out how to go ahead and make money. That it's scripted, and this is why I want to. I have a dream, and I've had a dream for several years now, and I've shared it with a few other YouTubers and stuff. But you get really good content. Before I came on here, you had one of the young guns, Vash Lombardi. He had done a YouTube, a live stream earlier, and was taking calls in. And that's another thing that that's the other thing I need to do too. I have I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? Let's see. Let's go a little further. Okay. Wait. Actually, as I keep growing and developing my studio, there's always something else that you need tool-wise. And I'm trying to get those, and if I can get this over here. There's a mic mixer. Because we're outside here, this is it. This is like a mini one. I have a bigger one that this one's connected to inside. But it makes it easier so that way if I get E2 that's in here, I can turn him on, so like that. I have to get a iRig. If I get an iRig to go to this, so that way it will be able to put the sound in and it'll be able to kick it out. I can hook my phone up to it, my cell phone, and then you guys can call in and we can start taking calls. And maybe we'll start doing that so that way we can have Dallas Cowboys bitch section or something like that. That we will, as fans, you'll be able to call in and say, you know what, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of it. And we can do that. But Vosh was having, it was a great show. It was a great show that the fans were calling in. They're giving their insight and stuff. And it was funny because one of the call-ins said, I don't know why Cowboy fans are mad. He said, because, they've been saying, Tyron Smith, get rid of him, man. He sucks, man. Dak Prescott, man, he's a bum, man. We can put anybody out there. He's overpaid. It's like, you're getting what you wanted. These players that you didn't want to see on the field, well, they're not there. So now why are you mad? That's what you wanted, right? And it's funny because I'm curious, where are the Dak haters, all the guys that said that Dak Prescott sucks? And here's the funny thing. It's not even funny. It's kind of sad. So Dak has gotten numbers. Dak has gotten records. Dak has been durable. Dak has been more than what you expected to get. Here it is. We got people that'll say, oh, man, we got to go get Trevor Lawrence. Instead of saying, you know what, maybe Dak, I actually, here it is. I'm here doing the walk of shame. I'm ashamed. Mark, check Aaron Rodgers' response. Okay, Aaron Rodgers' response to Anonymous. I didn't see that. Let me see if I. Aaron Rodgers' response to Dallas Cowboys players, anonymous sources. Let me see if that comes up that easy. Doesn't look like there's any great matches. Tell me what he said on that, okay? So I don't know where to look for that. There's no Sarah Nicole. Oh, Sarah, another lady in the house? What's up? We need a higher defensive-minded head coach because we have Kellen Moore as our offensive coordinator. Mike is not, sad to say, he's not Jason Garrett, coach better than Mike. I just want Dak to succeed. I like him for the Cowboys. Pour some gasoline on it. There you go. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman hate America. He was talking about the Pat McAfee show. Oh, okay. I'm here for Dak, but there's other contracts we got that I'm not sure. Yeah. Amari's not as bad as, like, D-Laws. At least Amari's, you this year and next year you can walk away from Amari's. You can't get away from Zeke's or D-Laws anytime soon. I'm not upset. I knew this was going to happen. I never believed in this team just from last year. You know, I thought the stank was actually Jason Garrett, and maybe we owe Jason Garrett an apology. Like Parcells said, used to say, people act like you can call 1-800 number and get a quarterback. You're right about that. Doug Simmons, I feel the same way. Dak does suck. He's been losing all year. He lost last year against the Eagles. Missed a lot. Oh, my God. You know, Mondo, oh, Lordy. Whatever, dude. We never draft a safety. Now it's biting us in the ass. Tank for Trevor. JJ, we are so far. It's too late to try and tank for Trevor Lawrence. And quarterback's not our issue. Is Trevor going to play like safety? Is he going to make some of those tackles on the defense? Is he going to block on the offensive line? Come on, this is. I'm sorry. Don't be that guy that doesn't know shit about football. The Jets have no wins and won't get any. They're going to be number one. Right now, you have the Washington team, the Giants team, the Atlanta Falcons. Who else has got one win? The Texans. All teams that have one or less victories. Hell, I think Minnesota only has one, right? Right now, the Jets are in line with no wins. The Bengals have one win, although I don't think they'll go for a quarterback, but they would be more than happy to get that spot and trade it. The Jaguars have one win. The Chargers have one win, okay? That's in the AFC. NFC, the Giants, Washington, the Vikings, the Falcons, all teams that are way ahead of you. You need to have those guys win more games than you, and we got 2 already. You're not getting all the way to the number 1 spot. And if you're 3 or 4 spots away, look what the Bears gave up to move up 1 spot to get Mitch Trubisky. Are you going to give up the next 3 years of number 1s to try and get Trevor Lawrence? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Some of these fans, I've got a headache. And Dak has been losing all year. Yes, it's true. It's because of Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott has been giving up 38 points a game, historically the worst number in the history of football. The Dallas Cowboys have given up more points the first 6 games than anybody. Yes, and that's Dak Prescott's fault. You know what? Kiss my high yellow hind parts, okay? Because basically...
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as a stupid does.
Are you crazy? Or just plain stupid?
Stupid as stupid does, Mr. Blue.
I guess.
Are you stupid or something?
Stupid as stupid does, sir.
Yeah, Dak's worth his money. He's worth as much as Deshaun Watson. He's definitely worth more than Kirk Cousins. If Kirk Cousins is getting 33 fully guaranteed this year, next year, and the year after. So, you know, this whole thing that for some reason we think that our quarterback, who, by the way, in case you guys didn't notice, has 5 years with the Dallas Cowboys. He's getting 32 this year, and he made 4 the year before, 36. So 36 divided by 5 is what? 5 times 7, about 7 million. We've averaged for 5 years paying a quarterback $7 million. $7 million is what we've averaged paying Dak Prescott over 5 years. That ain't shit. And you couldn't build a team with that. Sorry. You had your opportunity. Dak Prescott enabled us to get out from underneath all those bad contracts with Des Bryant and Tony Romo and all the dead money that we had before him. And yet you still want to say, screw you, man. We know you tried to put your ankle back in place to get back out there because you're a warrior. We know that you have started more games consecutively than anybody as a quarterback in the Dallas Cowboys. Nobody had made it through 3 years. He made it through 4+ years without an injury, without missing a start. And, of course, you guys want to say, screw that guy. Screw that guy. We can just go ahead and get another quarterback. We'll just draft Trevor Lawrence, or you know, we can plug anybody in. Okay, that whole theory of plugging anybody in. Well, guess what? We plugged in Andy Dalton, a guy who everybody said, "Oh, the Cowboys signed Andy Dalton. That's some competition for Dak. Dak is about to lose his job to Andy Dalton." See, Andy Dalton, well, you know, he's a lot better. You know, see, Dak has got everything perfect. Dak Prescott's got great weapons. Andy Dalton hasn't had those things. And some of y'all were out there like, yeah, we got Andy Dalton. We got Andy Dalton. Yeah, we got a real quarterback. That's what some of you guys said. We got, you know, and I hate to do this to my boy. Oh, wait, actually, he mentioned me. Oh, wait, let me see what he said. Wow. Okay, so this is kind of cool. This game day. See, Game Day Dog, he used to write for the Laundry Hat. This is what he actually said last week. Dalton stepped in off the bench, went 9 for 11, 11 yards, 111 yards, and a game-winning drive. Dalton has never had an offense this talented. He got the Bengals to multiple playoff games in the division with the Steelers and Ravens, while his only weapon was A.J. Green. He's accurate, smart, throws into tight windows, leads his receivers, stretches the field, and reads defenses pre-snap. They are compliments you give quarterbacks. When discussing Dak, people say he's a great leader, he's the face of the franchise, he's mobile, he's tough, he's good in the locker room. That's great, but I need a quarterback that will move the safeties with his eyes, then hit the tight end in stride as he's running down the seam with the linebacker in his back pocket. And when you tell me the quarterback had 3 touchdowns, I expect him to be passing TDs. Don't hate Dak personally. To me, Romo was a better quarterback, and Dalton is a better quarterback. Dak isn't the worst quarterback in the NFL either, but he's the weakest link in this offense. So I said today, an hour ago, still feeling the same? And he responded, yep, I'll take Dalton over Dak 100 times out of 100. The better team won. I don't see Drake fumbling or Fitz dropping TDs. Wow. 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 Walter, thanks for stopping in, man. You're a Rams fan. You're out. Peace out, man. Thanks for stopping by. Earl Thomas is visiting the Raiders. Oh, wow. That has not aged well. Trevor was a better college quarterback than Dak. Trevor has proven to win whenever he goes, and the only one has one loss to college. You know, Eric, if I had $1 for everybody that's, you know, that was better than Dak Prescott in college and then wasn't shit in the pros, I wouldn't be broadcast media anymore. You know, they said that Josh Rosen was the best quarterback in college. Josh, I think, is a practice squad player for the Jags right now. There's a lot of guys that do well in college, but there's no guarantee that they're going to be great in the pros. It's just the way it is. And if you haven't learned that, I don't know what to tell you, because, bro, there's a big difference between college and pros. And sometimes, I'm going to put one other caveat in here. Sometimes you have good players on great teams that have a lot of great players around them. And they're good because guys that are backups could be starters on other college teams. Guys that don't have those players around them that you look at and say, well, he's not great, but he doesn't have the same weapons around him. He doesn't have that same offensive line. He doesn't have those first-round drafted wide receivers to throw to. And they have to work harder to get where they are. And when they get to the pros, they understand what it took to get there, and they work that much harder to make sure that they get better. There's a lot of guys that have a lot of talent that become bust in the NFL. And I'll take a Jeff George right there, because Jeff George had one of the biggest arms in college, and they thought this guy was going to be great. And he was not a leader at all and petered out. I could look at Ryan Leaf. They said Ryan Leaf, you know, they said you can't go wrong drafting Ryan Leaf or Peyton Manning. But Ryan Leaf had the bigger upside because, you know, he's got the bigger arm and stuff. Peyton Manning's the more polished player. And you look at those two careers, You know, but it's cool. It's cool. Omar, well, shout out to Omar. Omar, what's up, man? How you doing, man? How you feeling? I know you're hurting like me today, man. To see our team the way it is, it sucks. Okay, you love Dak. Moving on. I'm sorry. Are you honestly looking? Did we watch the same game last night? Did we watch the same game last night where Andy Dalton, you were actually limited with some of the things that you could do because Andy Dalton is not as mobile as Dak Prescott? That you know, don't do the play action, you don't do the bootlegs and things, and he can't get out of the way. Because to me, tell me if I'm wrong here, but quarterback has evolved in the NFL. Quarterbacks, you look at the quarterbacks that are good now, they are somewhat mobile. They can move around in the pocket. They are a dual threat. And if you don't have one of those guys, you're looking to get one of those guys. Fitzpatrick has done pretty good actually with Miami, but you know, they realize, let's get to it. He's more mobile if he can stay healthy. Let's get him going because he's younger, more athletic, and we have a better chance if he can move around. Lola, what's up? How are you doing? You look at pocket quarterbacks, the Joe Flacco's, the Phillip Rivers, that can't move anymore. They're not doing well, or they're not even starting. It's the young guys that can run, you know, a quarterback option, that can be in a pistol formation and do some damage, that can get outside and do run-pass options. Because defenders, we got a new member in the house. What's up? Vanessa. Oh,
Don't you ever talk.
Sorry, that's the wrong one. Shoot, I'm on the wrong channel. Vanessa, make sure because you upgraded to Tailgate Crew, make sure you email me right there to cowboysmark94@gmail and say, I'm a Tailgate member. I'm a Tailgate member, so that way we can get you your Jobu shot glass rack, as well as a set of 4 shot glasses. Because Lord knows, Cowboys make you want to drink. They make you want to drink so much, so bad. I want to drink, but I got to because of Cowboys. They're bad. They're bad. They're really bad. All right. So I appreciate that, Vanessa. Tebow was great in college, but no career in the NFL. Shout out to you on that one. Shows how good Dak is. Dak was making this horrible team with his comeback. Like I said, Dak has been Romicized. He literally is. This is Tony Romo syndrome all over again. Keith Reynolds. Thank you very much, man. Keith Reynolds, the biggest issue on this team are the most important outside of quarterback. O-line and secondary. Yep. Yeah, he hit the nail on the head. My love for Dak is blinding me. JJ, everything is blowing up Dak. Well, Trevor is no Jeff George Mark. Take a lap. You know, it's great. It's great. It's great to have that idea and say, okay, Trevor Lawrence is going to be Joe Montana, you know, reincarnated, but there's no guarantee on that. And to get him, that's a great thing to say, hey, you know, I mean, it's like saying it'd be great if we had Khalil Mack instead of D-Law. You know, let's just switch those up and everything will be fine on the defense, you know. It's just like, you know, let's go ahead and get, Warren Thornhill and the Honey Badger, and we'll put them at safety. That's a great suggestion, but it's not going to happen. You can't get Trevor Lawrence, so why are we sitting there saying Trevor Lawrence is going to be here for the Cowboys? And when you look at Dak is one of the few bright spots on the team, at least. He's at least holding up his part of the bargain. And looks like we got another channel member. Daniel Burke, thank you very much for becoming a channel member. Make sure you email me at cowboysmark94 and say, yo, man, I am a new channel member and I want my shot glass so I can get drinking with you about these Cowboys. I love how people I wish I understood. Oh, well, okay. But he may have also talked about, okay, called him chicken shit. Okay. I kind of agree in some regard because it's like, let's go to Jerry Jones and say, man, listen, put it out in the media is kind of like backstabbing, you know. They smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place for backstabbing. Because that is. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just, don't hate the player, hate the game. The fact that he feels this is the problem. This is the problem in the locker room. I don't necessarily agree with him going to Jane Slater and saying the coaches are shit, but the reality is this is how they're feeling. Let's deal with the message, not the messenger. The messenger is the players are not buying in. They don't like what's going on. They feel lost. They feel this is not going to work. That's what we got to deal with, not the backstabbing. Come on, man. You know that. Yes, we did. Okay. Rumor has it Cowboys going to trade for Darnold for a second-round pick and use second-round pick. He's better be starting. Okay. Where did you hear that rumor? Okay. That's one of those ones where I'm talking to E2. Hey, E2, we're going to trade for Sam Darnold. Okay. All right. Yeah. Right. Sure. Okay. Let's take a moment of silence for how dumb the Dak haters are. We could take all day with that one. We could take all day on that one. But I'll give you that one. A moment of silence. All right. So, but Dak haters, here's the thing. Dak haters still, they won't change. They won't change. They won't change. Why would you waste a second? Good question. Let me just look in here real quick because I haven't looked. We've been on here for how long? Damn, we've been on here for almost 2 hours. Damn, I didn't know. I didn't realize 2 hours. Wow. Get Dak paid. Dak haters are going to say the Cowboys will win it all without cursed players. Bryant Ketch, Romo. We need another General Lee out there to run the D and put a foot in their ass. I don't see a leader on the defense. I don't. I really don't. But Kenny, here's the funny thing. You're not hearing the haters in here. Oh, we get it. You're in love with Dak Prescott. Blah, blah, blah. We need Trevor Lawrence. It's like, I just can't help you. Y'all need Jesus. Y'all just need Jesus, okay? Lloyd Diggs, what's up, Lloyd? We stink bad, and a shout out to Joe Boo as well. Joe Boo he's taking it poorly. Rumor is Dak is hurt, and he reminds me when Romo gets hurt, no backups. No, we paid for. Well, hold up. We had Andy Dalton. You remember the Dak haters were saying that Andy Dalton should be starting. You don't remember that? When we signed Andy Dalton, they said this is because Dak sucks, and the Cowboys are going to sign Andy Dalton long term and not pay Dak. That's what they said, right? So the haters got what they wanted. Dak got hurt. You got Andy Dalton, and you're still complaining? Randy Gregory is now on the Cowboys' active roster. Uh-oh. Randy Gregory's now on the roster. So we got that. Maybe he'll save the defense. Cowboys Nation. Are the Cowboys the worst team ever at running screens? Not just this year, but for a long time now. Yeah, the screen pass. Zeke's been getting a lot of passes. Dog, they're terrible. I do find it odd that Randy Gregory being reinstated, but it had to wait for 6 games. Yeah, I was still trying to understand that, why we had to wait for 6 games. And this is actually kind of, you know what? Shout out to Marcus Masher. How is it that Randy Gregory was reinstated but had to wait for 6 games. But David Irving was reinstated immediately and allowed to play. It's kind of like that tackle on CeeDee Lamb. And it wasn't pass interference, wasn't it? So the Raiders have signed David Irving to their practice squad. So here's another interesting stat. So Zeke Elliott, first 5 seasons through 6 games. 2016, 130 attempts, 703 yards, 5 TDs, 2 fumbles. 2017, 131 attempts, 504 yards, 4 TDs, 0 fumbles. 2018, 117 attempts, 586 yards, 3 TDs, 2 fumbles. 2019, 113 attempts, 491 yards, 5 TDs, 1 fumble. 2020, lowest amounts of rushes, 101, 413 yards, 5 TDs, but 5 fumbles. Wow. So literally, his first 4 years, the first 6 games, he had 5 fumbles total. This year, in 6 games, he's got 5. Yeah, there's definitely something going on, and that's where Peoples Aguilar are talking about how he still is having issues from COVID, that maybe he's still dealing with that. So of course, everything right now is Cowboys players criticize the coaches. And yeah, it was chicken shit. I'll give you that, Derek, but it's how they're feeling. They're feeling let down by the coaching staff, and maybe some of them still have, feelings for Jason Garrett. How is Joe Bear holding up? Joe Bear actually hasn't been drinking. It's mainly because Joe Boo. Oh, Sarah, we got a lady. Oh, what a night. Okay. Shout out to the ladies. Now, understand now, guys, don't feel bad, okay? Don't feel bad that I've got a theme song every time one of the lovely ladies show up because, see, we want to bring the ladies to the man cave. I know those Eagle fans that they're in their mama's basement and they've never seen a woman in real before. I know that, and they're scared of them and they want to chase them out, okay? But that's the Eagle fans, okay? We love our ladies up in here, okay? You lose, so let's talk crap about the coaches so you don't lose your job. Well, actually, I think right now, everybody's worried about losing their job. Players, coaches, everybody, as they should be, because Doc Walker, former Hog, tight end for the Washington football team. I like Doc Walker because he's a straight shooter. He's one of those guys that'll tell you, we sucked. He couldn't bust a grape. He pointed out that I can lose without you. If I'm not winning with you, I can certainly continue to lose without you. Right? If we are piss poor with you and can't bust a grape, I can be piss poor without you. Am I wrong? We got a lot of guys out there right now. We're the worst defense in the NFL. I can do that without you as well. Look, you guys want Gary Hogaboom. Yeah, oh, my God. I remember Gary Hogaboom. Wow. Gary Hogaboom. Boy, wasn't that a one-year wonder. Allen Williams, Washington, New Orleans, Seattle, and Buffalo might pick up AB. We need a new owner, period. Zeke is low-key faded. Could be. I'll be back at you. All right, Allen. Well, I'm going to end this. 2 hours of me. 2 hours of me on a Tuesday afternoon is enough. This makes up for not having the live stream yesterday. I want us to win another game because you have to keep using the same players we have now, and I don't want anybody else on this team. Actually, just need to fire a player that no one would think of. Well, Derek, that was my thing. I said it's kind of like one of those movies where you got the tyrant up there, and he says, if you don't really want to do this, step forward. And the guy's like, yeah, man, I don't want to do this, man. That's cool. I'm glad I don't have to do this. And the guy goes, anybody else? Anybody else have something to say? Anybody? Okay, good. Moving right along. Casey Addison. This is a man's world. James Brown. Oh, no. Casey. I kind of like having women around, man. I don't know about you, bro, but I like having pretty ladies around, okay? Mike McCarthy does suck, and so does Mike Nolan. Well, it's hard. Right now, it's hard to argue that. Thanks, Mark. I wish the Cowboys put half the work you do. This is sad and embarrassing. It's like right now, trolls are coming at me and saying, Cowboys suck. And it's like, yeah. Okay. You going to tell me something I don't know? Tony Douglas, I'm with you, man. I'm tired, boss. I'm real tired of losing, man. God, I'm tired of it. I really and honestly, I said this earlier, man. I thought for sure that this year was going to be the year, man. I thought that this year was going to be different. Oh, the Cowboys forever, man. Don't even bring that up. Yeah, we had it good, and we got rid of that guy. Winning back-to-back Super Bowls. Nah, we don't need him. I can do this. Anybody can do this. No one needs to go seriously. We need to stop regenerating the same. Just go back to Rod Martinelli style. Chiefs would beat y'all 44-3. Fire D-Law. Ben DiNucci by Thanksgiving. Season ain't over yet. You've seen Wilson at safety out. Okay. Well, we could actually get to 3-5 like we were a couple years ago. I mean, maybe we could beat the Washington team and then lose to the Eagles, and we'd be exactly where we were 2018, 3-5, and we turned that around. Y'all think this every year. And so what? You trying to take hope away from me? What, you want me to go in depressed? I would honestly rather go in and be excited about a season and everything else and hope for good things to happen and then deal with it when it happens instead of being depressed all year round. I always say, stop worrying. Deal with it when it comes along. Don't sit here and get upset before something happens. Why waste the energy? That's just dumb. I mean, are you stupid or something?
Are you stupid or something? Mama says stupid is as stupid does.
Are you crazy? Or just plain stupid?
Stupid is, stupid does, Mrs. Blue.
That's right. Stupid is as stupid does. Worst rock bottom games you remember, Mark? Oh, Lordy. Last night, the Cleveland Browns the week before. Amen, Couch Potato. What is the use of being a fan if you don't have any hope? Amen to that. Shout out to you. Zeke's got psych issues. Okay. Any team needs to have multiple dual threats. Running back as a car. Okay. I agree with you on that. And the thing is, I feel like the offense, you get Dak Prescott back and you get the offensive line together, your offense is not really the problem so much, other than holding on to the football. The defense, if we had a defense that could take the ball away and we stopped turning over the ball, we would have a lot different results. That's the biggest problem on this team is we do not, and I don't know why, since 2014, we were second at taking the football away. Since that time, we've been the worst team at getting the ball. I don't understand that one at all. Sarah Nicole, shout out to one of the, I don't know if I got you before, Sarah, but, Oh, what a night. Shout out to the ladies coming into the man cave. These guys are pros, and they're getting paid big money to play a kid's game. I tell you what, my man. When I saw Dak Prescott's ankle with the bone sticking out, I'm not sure that's still quite a kid's game. When I think about Tyrod Taylor getting a needle that punctured his lung because he was getting a shot in the ribs so that way he could play, I'm not sure that's still a kid's game. when I think about some of, Van Der Esch breaking his collarbone just a few weeks ago, and now he's back on the field taking hits on it. When I see Zach Martin getting a knee in the head that knocks him silly, I'm not quite sure that that's still a kid's game. The things that these guys do to stay on the field, they a grown-ass man. As much as some of these guys out here saying that Dak Prescott was crying like a little bitch after he broke his ankle, I dare say that some of these mother humpers that were saying that get a hangnail that they're going to start crying. They get a splinter in their face. Ah! I want to know, honestly, how many of y'all would get your leg broken like that, take it and slam it into the turf trying to put it back in place while the bone is sticking out of the skin, that you ain't crying like a little bitch? I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering how many, because I know a lot of you think that you Rambo. I know that a lot of you think that you Rambo, that you can just go ahead and get yourself a needle and some thread and just start sewing up your arm. Let me just pull that piece of strap metal, take that out. I'm just going to sew this shit up. Come on, man, get the fuck out of here. I bet you fall in love with Trevor if we had him, just because we don't. Man crush on Dak doesn't mean our haters are stupid. Defense don't want to play anymore. Facts. Robert J. Trade Zeke, D-Law, don't pay Dak, rebuild. Well, Robert, I hate to tell you that you're not going to get people that are going to trade for value on those picks. You're just not. It's going to end up being kind of like taking a big cap hit and cutting them. That's the way it is. The Eagles fans are sad all year. Okay. Yeah, well, they got Carson Wentz. NFL players are big badass dudes. Most athletes are that. Why they are where they are. You're right about that, because you're talking about being the cream of the crop. Damn, Mark, I'm trying a burger that you cooked the other day with a Worcestershire. Boom. Good job. Hey, man, Dan, send me a picture and let me know how it comes out, man. I think I'm just going to make some ground beef tacos tonight for dinner. Mark Holmes, if Jerry called me and hired me as a GM, what moves would you make? Oh, Lordy. Get my offensive line together. That's the first thing. Get a secondary together. Right now, what I would do is, the way I would look at it right now is, this team stinks from the head down. Right now, I'd take the rest of the season and do it as an evaluation. I got to find out who the dogs are, who are the guys that really want to be here and who can play. And you've got to start looking at that and finding out, this half-ass shit that we keep doing, we got to keep this guy and that guy, or this guy's got to pay a lot of money, so we got to keep him on the field. You know what? I might start looking at this and saying, maybe I'm going to take some of these hits and try and get rid of some of these guys that aren't performing. Just saying that we got D-Law, we're paying him a lot of money, so we got to keep him on the field. You ain't performing, I don't need you on the field. You need to earn being on the field. I need to see something and start finding some guys who really want to play. That's the first thing you got to do. I don't want dead weight. And I got to find some guys that can actually reach this younger generation of players. I got to get coaches that really understand the game and how the game has evolved and changed. You got to understand that, it's great that we've been able to pass the football like crazy. But understand that that's great. That's great that we got wide receivers, but we've got to get some balance. And we have to hold players accountable. So we've got to realize we need to fix the offensive line, we got to fix the secondary, and we've got to fix attitudes. Because I feel like we've got a bunch of guys that feel they're entitled because they wear the star on their helmet, that they're supposed to just automatically get everything that they get without putting in the work. You got to put in the work. I don't care who you are. You got to bust your ass to get there, and you got to bust your ass to stay there. So yeah, that's where we go. And we got problems with a lot of guys that can't stay healthy. So it's a lot of work to do. Yeah, that was the thing that was also interesting, Jesse, is, Mike McCarthy kept this whole thing of we want to promote from within. We don't want to look at other guys on the outside. And, yeah, that works if you're New England and you have the guys that are underneath there, but we didn't have those guys. Awesome answer. There would be coaching changes also. Yeah, there would be. There would be. A lot of this coaching hiring was nepotism. Guys at Mike McCarthy, we're getting the band back together, guys. So I got a gig, so you got a gig, and you got a gig, and you got a gig, instead of getting guys that might be the best out there. And the thing is, that's crazy, is when you start looking at some of the people that have left Dallas that have succeeded. Here it is, David Irving. He's got a job now with the Raiders on the practice squad. You look at Jeff Heath, who's got a job and doing well with the Raiders. You look at Everfuss, who's defensive coordinator with the Colts, is doing a great job. You look at some of the defensive players that we've had. You could take the defensive players that the Cowboys have that are around the NFL, put them together right now, and you'd have a better defense. Guys that we said, yeah, we can do better without them. Idiot's still here bitching about Dak's contract, shaking my head. Yeah, you're right about that one. Dak who? Okay. Historical art is such a hater. He's such a hater. But we love you, man. Regardless, even though you hate us, you hate my team and everything, we're not going to hate back. We're going to show love, man. I'm going to pray for you. Oh, Taco is doing great. Hitchens is doing great with them. Yeah, but Tony, we said, nah, we can do better. They just let Jeff Heath go without having a plan to replace him. No, we're okay. Yeah, Jeff Heath's a bum. Rashard, where's Rashard coaching at? Because I thought he dropped off the face of the earth. Pay Leary what's he want to help our O-line. Taco, what a loser. Well, Taco, hey, he's on a team that might be headed to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to exactly say he's a loser. He might end up being the smartest mother humper out there to get his ass out of Dallas. I'm just saying. He's got 2 sacks and a forced fumble this year. I'd take that from D-Law right now, especially since he's only getting like $1.5 million a year. Yeah, he's a loser. Kitchens. That's Hitchens, Quinn, Taco, Byron Jones. Yeah. Actually sounds like a pretty good defense right now. That means, and Heath, don't forget Jeff Heath on that too. That's a lot of fix. Oh, we got a lot. And that's where, see, the thing is you have to look at it as trying to put together a group. You got to put together a group, and you've got to let them learn the system together. And see, this is where sometimes teams try and hold on. The Cowboys have always had this, we're just a couple of players away. If we make a trade here or make a move there, oh, we got Rashid in here. If we make get a couple of players here, we'll be fine. But see, the thing is, that's not fixing it. And a lot of times you end up getting yourself in cap hell because you spend a whole lot of money because you're saying, we can't live without this guy. We can't live without that guy. And we pay him. And those contracts come back to bite us. You look at us, we've got more big contracts than anybody else. And you look at it and say, they ain't performing. So anyway, we have been on here on the YouTube for over 2 hours. I have done my share and then some. Oh, my God, Tom Brown. I miss the good old days of that offensive line. Mark Sipnowski, he's somewhere smoking weed right now. Gogan, he's probably punching somebody out. And Eric Williams, he's giving that stare to somebody, I'm sure, as we speak now. Eagles are winning the Super Bowl if we oh, my God. Oh, wow. They're back. Yeah. And that's where Colin Cowturd, it was so funny today because he was trying to walk back the whole, that Andy the same as Dak Prescott. And he was going back through and he's saying, well, this team is so bad that, nobody's doing anything except maybe Carson Wentz and Pat Mahomes and Russell Wilson. I'm like, yeah, okay. Because, of course, this guy. Yeah. So that's where we are, guys. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to fix me something to eat because I haven't eaten anything all day. I've been too depressed. And go spend some time with the wife. And you know how it is. So I appreciate all you great fans being up in here. It's a time where our team absolutely positively sucks. And we need to lean on each other to try and make it better. Tom Brown, man, Larry Allen, Nate Newton. Oh, man, all those guys. Yeah. Yep. Malik Collins, that's another one. That's another one, Lloyd. All right, y'all. It's time to turn out the lights. Well, actually, the sun went down. It looks like they turned them out themselves. I'm going to catch you later.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.